Megan Fox, a name once synonymous with Hollywood's ultimate it girl, the face of every teenage fantasy, the star of billion-dollar blockbusters, and a red carpet bombshell. But behind the smoldering looks and box office dominance was a woman being chewed up by the very machine that made her famous. This is the story of how Megan Fox went from rising icon to Hollywood outcast, and how she clawed her way back into the spotlight on her own terms. It all began in 2007 with Transformers. Megan Fox, barely 21, was catapulted into global fame. Her role as Michaela Baines was pure fantasy fuel for the franchise's teenage fanbase. She didn't have many lines, but she didn't need them. The camera adored her, and so did the world. She became an overnight sex symbol, but at a cost. While men idolized her, critics mocked her as just a pretty face. Directors sexualized her. The industry commodified her. And Megan, still in her early 20s, had little control over her image. Fox's tension with Transformers director Michael Bay was no secret. She compared him to Hitler in an interview, calling him controlling and obsessed with her appearance. Bay, in turn, painted her as unprofessional. The fallout was swift. Steven Spielberg allegedly demanded she be fired from Transformers 3. In Hollywood, speaking out, especially as a woman, was a death sentence. And for Megan, it was the beginning of a long exile. After her exit from Transformers, roles dried up. Fox was labeled difficult. The media turned on her. She was mocked on late-night shows, dismissed as washed up by her mid-20s. What few knew was that Megan was quietly struggling with intense anxiety, imposter syndrome, and the trauma of being sexualized as a teenager in Hollywood. She once said, "I was never that confident. I was just trying to survive." And surviving meant stepping away. From 2010 to 2017, Megan stepped back. She focused on raising her children with then-husband Brian Austin Green. She took smaller roles, avoided blockbusters, and largely disappeared from the Hollywood machine. But the pain didn't disappear. In interviews, she spoke about feeling spiritually broken, battling depression, and being misunderstood. Hollywood forgot about her, but she hadn't forgotten who she was. In 2009, Fox starred in Jennifer's Body, a horror comedy that flopped on release. Audiences weren't ready for a feminist revenge story wrapped in teen gore. But years later, critics reevaluated the film and Fox's performance. It was ahead of its time, a scathing takedown of how society exploits and discards women. Megan's line, "I'm not even a backup, I'm a backup dancer," became a feminist anthem. Suddenly, people saw Megan not as a joke, but as someone Hollywood failed. Enter Machine Gun Kelly. In 2020, Megan began dating the rapper turned actor, and tabloids went into a frenzy. They were wild, edgy, provocative. Their red carpet moments were gothic fever dreams. To some, it felt like a PR stunt, but to Megan, it was freedom. She called MGK her twin flame and credited their relationship with helping her reclaim her voice. She was back, not as a man's fantasy, but as her own woman. In 2021, Megan went public about her mistreatment. She detailed being sexualized as a minor, manipulated by powerful men, and punished for speaking up. "People celebrated my humiliation," she said. She became a quiet but powerful voice in the Me Too conversation. Not seeking pity, but reclaiming power. And audiences were finally listening. Megan Fox today isn't just a comeback story. She's a cautionary tale and a symbol of resilience. She's acting again, starring in indie thrillers and horror films. She walks red carpets on her terms. She posts unfiltered reflections on motherhood, femininity, and fame. And she's no longer afraid to be called too much. The industry that once burned her has been forced to reckon with her truth. Megan Fox's story is one of reclamation. From being the punchline of 1,000 jokes to becoming a feminist icon, she reminds us that fame is fickle, but authenticity endures. She wasn't destroyed by Hollywood. She was reborn through the fire. Megan Fox isn't just a survivor of the industry, she's a mirror to it,